Sex. Let's talk about sex, baby. We're gonna talk about sex today. If you haven't already guessed by the title, it's not really like a typical sexual explaining things like my first time, stuff like that. It's nothing like that. So I'm sure there are plenty of videos that you can find online on YouTube or wherever that will talk about all that. So I encourage you to go check those out because this video is absolutely not about that. Mine's more just about advice on sex and stuff. So I'm sorry if it's a disappointment, but if it's not a disappointment, please stay and watch what I have to say and pass it on if you find it helpful. So let's be honest, sex is a hot topic. Everybody talks about sex. Sex sells. Sex, you know, it's all about sex. So let's get into it. So you and I, here, face to face, heart to heart, well, face to computer. Me face to lens, but you are the person I'm talking to. We're gonna have the sex talk my way. I didn't really have that sex talk with my parents. Nobody really talked to me about it. I think my sister tried like once and I don't know how that went. I pretty much learned what I learned in school. I didn't know about half of the shit that went on, and there was kids that knew what the bitch word meant. So I guess I was a little behind on that aspect. I oftentimes sit back and I think, what am I going to teach my children? Obviously with my wife and I. What are we going to teach our children? How are we going to teach them? What are we going to say to them? Are we going to condone having sex? It's going to be a mutual thing. We're going to talk together about it. I mean, that's just how I've always seen it. The way I'm going to tell my children is if you're not ready to have a child at the age that you are and be able to support it and be able to afford a child, then you are not ready to have sex. And that's a little bit more on like the whole straight heterosexual side of things, because that's really the way to get pregnant. If you can't afford to take care of yourself, you cannot afford to take care of a child. If he can afford to take care of himself but can't afford to take care of a child, then he ain't not gonna be able to afford you or a child. So you are not ready to have sex. You both are not ready to have sex. And some people do say that if you're not ready to have a child, you're not responsible enough to be having sex, because you do have to be very prepared for any kind of consequence that may happen in the event that you do have an intimate moment and something goes terribly wrong. Yeah, you're not ready to have a kid. You have to be able to raise a child, and it's fucking expensive as hell to raise a child. Let alone a dog or a pet. It's expensive to take care of a pet. So can you imagine a baby? Another human body? Baby body? It's not gonna be a walk in the park is what I'm saying. So you have to make responsible choices. Take all your youth years to explore and have fun, safe fun, and learn new things and experience new places and not be tied down at such a young age. You know, sometimes it's not a bad thing. Sometimes it works out for that person. I'm not shaming anyone or at all. I'm just saying that if you have me here right now and you're listening to me, don't make the mistake where you may be regretting it. Some people don't regret it, some people do. I don't know. I'm just giving you a whole aspect of 360 of things. But I'd also like to tell my children that if you do want to have sex, that you do it very responsibly and you are protected and you do extensive research on it. Believe it or not, sex can go extremely wrong. You can be hurt really badly. You can obviously get an infection or get an STD. So you do have to be protected. And you know, it's a common sense, but you'd be surprised how many people are not protected and don't do all the necessary things that need to be done to avoid any of that. Finding out more about the person that you're about to be intimate with is a huge deal. You need to do that. I am going to push forth to my child, with my wife of course, that they do need to be protected no matter what, even if it's same-sex sex or opposite-sex sex. All kinds of sex needs to be protected. I'm going to tell them what could go wrong and I'm going to inform them and I'm going to help them with research and stuff. Obviously you let them do their own research, and I don't mean like physical research, I mean like Google research, you know. But if you do want to have sex, I'm not going to completely be like, no, don't ever have sex, you're gonna fucking die. I'm always going to give them both sides and, you know, assume that they're smart enough to wait until the right time or until a better time, until they're more mature. You can only do so much. But in the end, this generation seems like it's in a fucking huge rush, and sometimes what you say just goes in one ear and comes out the other. Now here's the thing, I'm not gonna completely be like, no, don't have sex, wait till marriage, but I am gonna give you my advice and the things that I feel could help you or could better steer you to make the right decision for yourself. So whether you want to take my advice or not and apply it to your life, it's up to you. If it doesn't affect me, if you do or if you don't, because it's your life, not mine, you guys are making the decisions, but I'm gonna try. Here's something that you guys all need to remember. You don't have to have sex just because it's the it thing. Because you're bored, because he wants to, because she wants to, because he's giving you the guilt trip, because she's giving you the guilt trip, because everyone else is doing it, because you want that experience, because of peer pressure, because they get mad if you say no, because somebody's teasing you about it, because you think that's what couples do, because you think that's what you do in a a relationship because it's a special night, because all your friends are doing it, because your friends are telling you to do it, because somebody else is telling you to do it, because you want to be like everybody else, because you want to lose at a young age, because you want to be cool, because you want to be included in talks, because all these other reasons that just are out there. If you're a virgin, be proud. Own it! There's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing wrong with being a virgin. It doesn't matter what age you are. And I should say, if you're still a virgin, there's nothing wrong with that. People that tease you or make fun of you for still being a virgin or not having sex, chances are those people are the ones that regret having sex at such a young age, or giving it up too soon, or giving it to somebody who wasn't worth it. They're probably really extremely jealous and mad at themselves and regret it for giving it up to someone, or for just giving it up way too soon. If you want to wait 7 months, a year, 2 years, wait until you're married, that's perfectly fine. Remember that. And if you're dating somebody that doesn't find that perfectly fine, that's okay too. Because that lets you know that they're not the person for you, that they're not the kind of person you need to be with. Not that they have the wrong ideas, but you guys just don't have the same kind of thoughts. And that's fine, because everybody is different. There are plenty of people out there who will have the same thoughts as you, who will be okay with the way that you think because they think the same way. And it's okay for them as well, because that's their own decision. Just like you have your own decisions, they have their own decisions. Don't change your morals and your values just because you want to keep somebody around. You don't want to do that. Allow them to go and find what they're looking for. Let them go find what they want in someone, what they need in somebody. And if they do want you, they're going to wait. And they're not going to have a problem with waiting. And they're not going to find it hard to wait, because they love you no matter what, and they're willing to do all that for you. Listen, if you don't want to have sex, then you don't want to have sex. Period. End of story. There's no more to it. You don't want to. And that goes to say, don't let anyone persuade you if you really do not want to. If you're questioning it, debating on it, whether you should or shouldn't, then chances are you are most likely not ready to have sex. And all of this is not just for your first time or your second time. It's for all the times. It's for any time. Here's one thing to always remember. If your sexual partner is not respecting your no, respect yourself and walk away. And that's a huge thing. You have to respect yourself. Respect yourself for the past, present, and the future. Most of us don't think, oh, you know, maybe there's going to be this one person that walks into my life and I want to be able to give them my everything, and I want to be able to share something with them that I've never shared with anyone else. And you'd be surprised what a fucking amazing feeling that is, to share a lot of first time things with that person that you are so head over heels in love with. So if you do want to save it for someone special, that's okay, that's great, that's wonderful. That's something that only you are going to be able to give to that person that nobody else is able to have. So many of us think that that's the one thing we have to do when we get into a relationship, is give them everything. You know, it's something that should be earned. A kiss should be earned. An I love you should be earned. The love itself should be earned. It should never just be given. It should be something where you both put effort into it and you guys show and you build your relationship together. But like I said, it's a great feeling when you're there first for a lot of things, or you both are for a lot of things, or vice versa. So remember that. It's not all about sex. It's not always about sex. You know, there has to be some kind of foundation to build up to that kind of stuff, because having sex is a very, very intimate thing, and you don't want to give up that intimacy to somebody who you can't see yourself with in the long run. I mean, some of us don't care about that, and that's fine, but this video is for people who do take that kind of stuff to heart. Not that they don't, but it's a different feeling that, you know, you may get. They get mad because you don't want to have sex with them. Let them go. That's not the kind of person you need to be with. Some people are going to talk the talk and walk the walk and say all the things that you want to hear, but don't be so naive. Don't give it up easily. It is something sacred to you, and I'm not just talking about the first time, but sex in general is something that's very, very sacred that you should not just give up to anyone. You know, some people need to hear this. Some people need to hear, because some people might be making the wrong decision and will get hurt in the end, and you don't want that. You don't want to be hurt that way. And that's my sex talk for you guys. As simple as that. If you ever do have any questions, don't fail to ask an adult. Don't fail to ask somebody that could help you. Look it up online. Research. Do research for things to watch out for afterwards, for things to notice before or after. It's a big decision for such a young person at a young age, so keep that in mind. If you're not ready, that's perfectly fine. Don't let anybody else convince you otherwise. It's only when you are ready to do it, when you found the person that you know cares for you, truly cares for you, you have to put yourself in your heart in a little, you know, case, and make sure that you're making the right decision. You're worth a lot, and you should never ever just give it up to anyone just because you're hurt or you're feeling bad or you want attention or anything like that, because you may regret it in the future. You want to avoid that at all costs. But if you do have sex, please do your research and please stay protected. If you have any questions of any kind, please hit my Tumblr up. Oh, also, don't forget to follow me on Instagram. I've been posting a lot of cool pictures lately. Also, some of them fucking giraffes that I went to the zoo. I take awesome pictures of this giraffe that was so cute that kept coming up to me. Okay, I'm talking too much. I'll let you guys go. See you next time. Bye.